Hey everyone, welcome to this week's presentation. I'm excited to get this started, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so Chapter 10 this week goes over liabilities, which is something that we're not completely unfamiliar with. And so we're just going to go into a little bit more detail. I had some technical issues earlier today with the Willy website, and I kind of just got it figured out. So there might be so I was working out of the book, and there's a few things that were different in the book than on the website. So I made some quick changes. So I just realized there's a few errors here, like just grammatical errors. So please apologize for that. I apologize for that. So we're going to go ahead and just get started. So the question is, Laverne purchased a new piece of equipment for this new facility. The price of the equipment was $355,000. The equipment was purchased with $35,500 down payment, and then the other was with cash received through the issuance of a $319,500 mortgage with a 7% interest, and it's going to be paid over 5 years. The terms provided for this issuance on this mortgage is an annual installment payments of $77,923 paid on December 31st. So the first thing we're asked to do in this question, by the way, this is question 12A on homework number 2. It's also found, or a problem that is very similar is also found on page 527. So what this says here, the first part of this is asks us to prepare an installment payment schedule for the first 3 payments. Oh, it says 3 in the book. It's 5. Sorry. On the homework. 5 payments on the notes payable. So what we do is we know that every payment we're going to make is going to be in this amount, the $77,923. So the first steps of what I did is I just put it all in there for each payment. We know we're going to do that. So next what we need to find out is to calculate what the interest and what the reduction of the principal and then the balance of the principal. So none of this is too complicated. We're kind of familiar with some of these equations already. So what we're going to do to find out the interest that we're paying is that we're going to, we're going to take the principal and then we're going to multiply it by the interest, which is 0.07, so 7%, and then we're going to times that again by the year, right? We know that we received it on January 1st, 2017, and now we're paying it on December 31st. So that's 12 months. So we can do 12 times 12, which is what they do. They show us in the examples in the book. Obviously, 1 would work as well to get our answer for how much the interest is. So the interest is $22,365. What we do from here to find out the principal is we take the reduction in principal is we take this amount. So this is what we know we pay, right? So this is the set payment that we make, and we're going to minus this number here, right? This 22,000, because the remainder of this payment will be paying off the principal. So kind of like, if you have a mortgage, this is what you do when you're paying your mortgage. A portion of it goes to interest, while the rest of the payment goes to pay off the principal. So this is what we see here, is that this is this is what will be paid to the principal. And so to find out this last answer, we take the principal and we minus the reduction of the principal. So that gives us our new principal. So we can continue this step by, again, we have to find out next year's interest. So again, sorry, in the book the interest is 8%, not 7. So please excuse me for these little typos. So what we're going to do here, we know the payment is going to stay the same because that's in the contract. We know the interest rate is going to stay the same. We already paid off the first year, so we owe less on the mortgage. So we're going to do to find out the interest that we've paid. We're only going to pay interest on what we owe. So we're going to take what we owe and we're going to times that by the interest. Oh shoot. Excuse me. Let's take this times. And I'm just going to stick with the way they do it in the book, not to confuse anyone. So that's going to be how we get our interest for the following. Now, in this problem, in the homework, it asks us to round up. So just be aware that it's going to ask you to round up. So this number would be 476. So 18,476. But for right now, we're just making sure we're getting down the how to do these equations. All right. So now that we know that this is the interest that we're paying for this year, this payment, we're going to do what we did, same as last year. We're going to take the payment that we're making, and we're going to minus the interest that we paid to find out how much we're paying towards the principal. Right? So this is what we're paying towards the principal, and then the reduction of, and then what we're going to do is just take the principal here from what we owed at the beginning of this year minus what we paid towards the principal. Minus, shoot, please excuse me. That's going to get us our new principal. Now this continues, and you can see how this kind of goes. So in Wiley, it just kind of goes until you have 0. So you know you have the right answer as you do that, those little equations, when you get 0. And so that will tell you exactly how you'll pay off this mortgage in 5 years, which is a nice little step to know how to do, especially if you have a mortgage of your own, just to kind of be aware of what you're paying off. Now, the next thing it asks us to do is to prepare a journal entry related to the notes payable for the very first year, December 31st. So the journal entry is pretty simple. So that's going to be, December 31st is the date we're going to use. Excuse me. And so we're going to use 3 different entries. This is one entry, and we're going to use 3 different accounts. So we're going to do interest expense. And the interest expense for the first year we see here is $22,365. We also see, and the next we're going to do is going to do mortgage payable, and we know that that is going to be $55,580. I'm sorry, 558. Excuse me. Again, it's been a long day. You'll also notice that I am not that computer savvy. I didn't know how to transfer in the table, so I just kind of did it manually. And then cash is the last thing that we're going to do, which is going to be the total of everything. So which is pretty simple. It's 77,923. So that's kind of all the payments that we're going to do for the journal entry. And you can see here, that's what it is. I forgot to make the debit and credit. So obviously the interest expense and the mortgage payable will be debit, and the cash will be credit. So we can just move this number here. So that would be how it works. So please excuse my little typos here. So yeah, that's what we're going to see here. Now, for the last section of the problem, I could not figure out. I thought I had found it in the book, and I had made a few mistypes, but I thought I figured it out, but I didn't. So anyone that's willing to help me out with this, I'd appreciate. But we know we need to separate the current liabilities from the long-term liabilities. The current liabilities would be what we probably pay. I put in a few different numbers. I tried the mortgage installment payment the mortgage installment payment that we would owe for the $77,000. I tried the interest as well as the mortgage payable, as you can see, but I couldn't quite figure out the solution to this problem. So I apologize for that. I looked around the book for a long time. This is why this video is posting so late, but I just couldn't quite figure it out. Again, So if anyone hasn't, like to post what they got for the correct answer, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you for your help. For anybody that do have any questions about anything that I went over or missed, please feel free to let me know. I'm more than happy to help out where I can. And if I figure out the problem, I'll let you know. Thank you.